Hey now, what is up everybody? My name is Mike Brown, aka Review King MB, and I am doing my 31 days of horror movie reviews. And this has been a frequently requested review. People have wanted me to talk about it, so here I am talking about Candyman. Candyman is a 1992 film. It was directed by Bernard Rose. It's based off of a short story by Clive Barker. And the plot is we meet Virginia Madsen, who plays Helen. She's this college student who is a bit of a skeptic, but she is writing a paper on urban myths, and this one in particular about this guy Candyman, who if you say his name 5 times in front of a mirror, he appears and he will kill you. He has a hook for a hand, and so throughout this movie, it's Helen's descent into finding out that just how real this Candyman myth is. And it's a little bit of a mind F, this movie, if I'm being honest. I thought the movie was fine. I'll be honest, I know that there are plenty of people who love this movie. The film has a cult following. People love it. Like, it's some of their favorite horror movie of all time. And that's cool. That's fine. I don't have a love for this movie. I've seen it once before when I was a little younger, and back then it scared me. There was some images, especially even rewatching it now, where I was like, oh yeah, I remember that scene and how much that creeped me out. One scene in particular where Candyman takes Helen and he's sort of hypnotizing her a little bit in the parking lot. That's almost his first reveal, and that's a cool moment. And then she just wakes up in the apartment of this woman's place, and there's blood everywhere. The dog's head's chopped off. She has the knife in her hand. Well, she actually picks up the knife from the ground, which was so dumb. But she does that, and the baby's missing, and it's chaos going on. Everyone thinks that she did it, Helen. And so that scene is one of those, like, whoa, what the blue F is going on here? And I remember that scene very vividly. But also, whenever you see Candyman, Tony Todd, whenever you see him come full force, bees start to come out of his mouth. And it's creepy. It's gross. I read that Tony Todd actually arranged a negotiation for his contract, a bonus, where for every bee sting he would get an extra $1,000. And he was stung 23 times, so cha-ching! Yes, he worked out just fine. I also read that apparently Eddie Murphy was originally asked to do this, but they couldn't afford him. So you know what, I'm glad we got Tony Todd. I think he has a presence to him where he is creepy, he is intimidating. His voice especially conveys whatever this Candyman character is going for. As far as the writing goes, the script, the plot, it's a little baffling to me as to what the hell is going on. Like, I get that it's an urban legend, right? You have a character who's trying to write about it and find out more about it, see if it's real, and she of course says it in the mirror because why not? And then she finds out it's real. They touch on Candyman's backstory, on what happened to him. You hear about it and it sounds very messed up, but I don't fully understand what happened to this guy, how exactly he was brought back to life, what his powers are, what he's able to do. Like when he shows up and starts to hypnotize Helen, I guess he can do that, but then he's never really able to do that to her again, because later on what he uses to try to get back with her or get with her, I don't know, he keeps saying to her that she's chosen, she's his one, they're meant to be together, they can't be separated and whatnot. I mean, I guess there's some connection with him and her, or maybe someone that looks like her from the past, and he's in love with her, I guess. But he spends this whole movie really effing with her. She gets locked up in an asylum, and just all of this stuff that it seems like stuff is just happening. You know, how did he put her in this apartment? How did he do certain things? There is one creepy scene where she wants to prove that she's not crazy to her, this guy at the facility, and she's in his office and she says Candyman 5 times, which 5 times is a lot. It really is. It's a lot. Why couldn't it have just been 3? like Beetlejuice. But so she says it, and then he appears behind the guy and guts him with the hook. That was messed up. There were scenes like that when he uses the hook and it's bloody and it's gruesome, that you go, yeah, that's pretty gross. I guess I was just a little confused on Candyman's abilities, Candyman's powers, just how far can you go? What is a dream, or what's reality? What's real? What's not? There are moments when Helen goes to these apartments, or to the hood, I guess you can call it, because they have people who do drugs there, and someone took on the Candyman name to scare people, and she gets roughed up in that scene pretty bad. I know at the time people were afraid that they thought this movie was being racist because of how they depicted black people, and the fact that Candyman, the villain of the movie, is black. But I don't care. I don't care about any of that. Look, I'm black. I don't see a horror movie with a black guy as a villain and instantly think, oh, these people are racist. Who made this? Because there's nothing in the script or story that made it that way. It's not like our main character, who is white, is saying racist things about him and we're supposed to cheer for her. No, any of that racism is kind of sort of created in your own heads. But in any event, other characters, like her husband, Helen's husband, Trevor, is played by Xander Berkeley, who every time I see this guy, he plays an asshole. He plays a dick on The Walking Dead. I'm sure there's other things I'm just forgetting. Just he has that punchable face. And whenever she gets in trouble, there's one scene where she gets arrested and she's calling him to bail her out, but he's nowhere to be found. He's missing, and she suspects that maybe he has something going on with somebody in his class. And of course he does, with a surprise. And so when you get to the end of the movie too, I'm a little confused. Like the cliffhanger, I guess I shouldn't talk too much about it in case people haven't seen Candyman, but if you have seen the movie, you know what I'm talking about with what happens to our characters and what that could mean for a sequel. I've never seen the sequels for Candyman before. This is where I stopped. Also, Ted Raimi, randomly Sam Raimi's brother, at the very beginning of the movie, and the prologue when they're explaining who Candyman is and they have the fable. I still don't know if that story happened. I guess it did really happen. In any event, the movie's fine. The movie is creepy. The movie does have its moments. It's not one of my favorite horror movies, though. It's not something that I'm quick to go back to. I think it's a good idea. I think that there is room for improvement, and so maybe that's why I'm not banging my head against the wall when they announce that this is being remade. I welcome a remake. I think you can make this scary. You can make this more intense. You can maybe flesh out some of these details on the character and his backstory and his powers and what we could do with it. I do like the slow burn of the movie, though. I do like the psychological aspect of it. I want to see it done a little better. Anyways, guys, let me know in the comments below what you think of Candyman. If you like it, if you love it, that's fine. Let me know. Hey, maybe I'm missing something. Tell me why you love it, or tell me if you agree that it's fine. Like, comment, subscribe. Later.
Souls taken over by a devilish path. You got me walking on broken glass. Kicked it out the door with a Jason mask, with a deck drum machete, but you motherfuckers know it's heavy. Anytime you're ready, you can get you with a Bowie. Setting up to blow me, but the bitch don't know me. Who's going? I'm going. You know, I know that the man in the mirror is my next rival. Time goes and I never thought I'd live it so fast. Staring at the world from the end of a glass. Turned into a dark place, severed my brain. I done dropped out of class.